Right, anyway. Hello again, everyone. It's good to see you again, although I don't really see you, but, it's all good. Sorry it's been so long since the last upload, but, well, hopefully, as you can see here, I got a new mic, and, I got some new recording software as well. So, hopefully, it'll actually work rather well this time. So, anyway, I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to try and do the whole episode review thing a bit better planned, as it were. I'm thinking to try and use the entire 10 I think it's 10 minutes we get on YouTube. I'm going to do two episodes per video. I'm going to try my best to upload 2 videos per week. However, there are going to be times when, for work commitments or, I don't know, various reasons, I can't get that many up. I might not even be able to get 1 up. However, to counteract that, there are going to be times when I'm going to try and get more than 2 up as well. Sometimes, if can, there'll be a couple of weeks maybe where I'll try and get 4 or 5 done. But anyway, I think that's enough for that. Let's get on with it, shall we? So, we're starting this 2-piece video with the second episode of Gundam Seed. Now, as with most of the episodes in the series, it follows directly on from the previous one timeline-wise, starting with the Aegis and the Strike Gundams launching, which happened at the very end of the previous episode. We're then treated to a scene of Saitol Kazi, I can never pronounce his name, and Mirialia getting to the surface area of the colony before suddenly being joined by the Strike and the Aegis coming out of a nearby hangar. The scene then switches to show a brief radio conversation between Athrun and Miguel, in which Miguel explains that he will commandeer the Strike Gundam that, as far as he knows, is simply being piloted by an Earth soldier, which at that particular time is correct, since Lieutenant Ramius, or Maru, I think I've referred to her previously, is currently piloting it. The two start to fight, and Miguel is by far a better pilot than Maru, purely because he's a coordinator and she is a natural. Anyway, he then attempts to attack the Strike with his Jin's sword. Now, to be honest, this felt like a very, very crude and rushed way to introduce the all-powerful phase shift armour, which Athrun proceeds to explain in a way that makes you feel like you're an idiot if you didn't know it beforehand. But then maybe that's just how it seems to me. Anyway, Athrun then leaves, Miguel and the Strike, still being piloted by Maru, begin to fight again. However, we're finally treated to the hero taking control when Maru nearly backs the Strike's feet into Sai and the others, who are still standing like idiots watching the fight. As the hero, Kira begins reprogramming the Strike system incredibly fast, superhuman, etc., etc. However, the music in the background playing at that particular point is it adds a bit of tension, which is probably a good thing, since Maru's sitting there looking on in wonder at how Kira's actually able to do it. Anyway, needless to say, once he actually starts controlling the Gundam and fighting, he completely and utterly owns Miguel with next to no trouble whatsoever. At one point saying one of my most hated lines in the dub series, where he screams, "Stop it!" I just hate the accent they've got, the actual voice actor has in the American version there. I don't know why, it's a personal thing and I apologise, but I hate it. Anyway, so the fight ends a bit too quickly in my opinion, and Miguel self-destructs his Jin and escapes on foot, he uses a jetpack anyway. We're then shown the episode then switches to show Lieutenant Natal Bajral, I think that's how you pronounce the name, waking up in a corridor that was damaged in the initial explosion in the first episode. Now, the scenes with Natal that follow are actually very good. They're probably some of my favourite in the episode, because they keep with the typical Gundam style of showing the dark side of violence and war. I mean, you've got dead bodies. You've got Natal's reaction, which is kind of sort of a mix between "oh my god" and looking like she's going to be sick when she sees a dead body, for example. However, sadly, Sunrise has decided to intersperse slightly more comical scenes, such as the previously mentioned folding then exploding ship. And yes, it is actually in this particular episode. I messed that up last time. But yeah, I think that ruins it a little bit. But I don't know, it's forgivable. Especially since you've got the sort of increased action scenes, such as Mou Laflaga fighting in his mobile armour, which is always cool, and as well as the introduction of Raoul Crusade as an actual combatant rather than a masked man sitting on a chair in a ship. The biggest issue I have with the episode, though, is, once again, flow. I mean, we have this mix of action with Muru and horrific images with Natal, but then we're showing this really rather peaceful scene between Kira and, well, with Kira and Muru, as well as Sai and the others. And yes, I know Muru holds them at gunpoint for a minute or two at one point, but even that ends quickly, and they start chatting, sitting around, delivering trucks with. Admittedly, the truck has what is it? It has the Strike's extra power supply, but it's still very, very calm, very soft scenes. It doesn't fit with the tempo that's being built up by the rest of the scenes at all. It just seems like they build up all the tension, all the adrenaline, then just stop it dead, and I don't understand why. Which is why I was glad that we're then shown Muru and Rao fighting and slowly making their way into the colony. When Rao spots the Strike, we're given a slight sense of excitement as he purposely dives his mobile suit towards it, weapons at the ready, only to be distracted by the Archangel, now being piloted by Natal and some other survivors, blasting its way out of the hangar with its main cannons. And then the episode ends. A good cliffhanger. It does give you, it gives you the sense of wanting to know what's going to happen right next, because it ends on such a kind of dramatic scene. So I guess that's a redeeming quality. Anyway, overall I'd say the episode is somewhat lacking in terms of continuous flow. However, the scenes with Natal, the fight between Wu and Rao, definitely redeem it. Now, on to episode 3. Right, what am I saying? This one opens with heightened emotions, as it were, since it starts straight away with thrusting us back into Rao's attempted assault on the Strike, which has been interrupted by the Archangel battleship's launch. The music in the scene works very well, and Rao's tactic at one point of aiming at Mu, Sai and the others to force Kira to put the Strike on its knees is a very good idea by Sunrise, as it does show the apparent strength of the phase shift in a sort of realistic way that fits Gundam, I'd say, rather than just saying, "Oh look, I'm invincible." But anyway, however, we're also showing the offensive strength of the Strike when Kira attempts to shoot Rao back using the large beam cannon. He melts the arm of Rao's mobile suit. However, he also blasts a hole in the side of the colony. Rao then flees through the colony, and once again, similar to the previous statement, I think Sunrise handled this very well, since it shows the idea of reckless actions have consequences that are increased with increased strength, as it were. Anyway, we then see a few scenes of Athon working in the cockpit of the Aegis, having taken it back to the battleship he came on, and Rao landing in the ship's hangar, both of which are in fact negligible. Nothing much really happens in them, apart from Athon going, or wondering whether it actually was Kira who attacked Rao. Anyway, the scene